concerning Florence, the storm that came in into the North Carolina area, have been questions asking about that, whether or not it went from a Category 4 to a Category 1 so fast, and why it did that, and also whether or not it was a cabal created storm. Well, first, my father says it is not a generated storm by anything but Terra Christa. So that eliminates all this ARP and HARP or whatever it is, and that puts it right back onto natural event. Okay, now, as far as the storm going from a 4 to a 1, that was because, not only because of Jared's meditation, but also because of all the other light workers that have been sending energy of love to the storm. And that's what caused it to go from a 4, Category 4, to a Category 1 in a matter of minutes. So that's why it went and dropped its category down to a harmless Category 1. So let's put that to rest. As far as
just before you go to the next question, I just would like to just kind of insert that it continues. Hold on. It continues. All of these things that are occurring presently that we become faced with. It is for us to be able to see what we can do individually and as a group to help to halt or to put some energy there to dissipate or to calm things down, or just to help to relieve all of what is happening that could be harmful, that could be harmful not just to Mother Earth, but to all of the beings that are around. So the more we tell you that this is the work as far as dissipating, for example, another hurricane this year, it's amazing. You got to give yourself so much credit, because you are the ones that have done it. We have been the ones to be able to do it, and we do that through energy. Now, we're going to talk
a place with religion. Of course, religion. Where did religions come from? Who else? The Anunnaki. Whatever. But so that's another story in itself. But as far as the creation of man was created elsewhere and brought to this world. So, and also as a point of fact, the white race was not the first race on this planet. Just to set that straight as well. The first race that was on the earth was the dark race. And then the white race, or the Caucasian race, came later, along with the other races such as the Japanese, the Orientals, the Europeans, and all this, all came at a later time. So they were brought to the earth for this experiment that is drawing to its close about how people are existing and living on the surface of a world. So it was an experiment to see how people would live and thrive and procreate and all this on the surface of a planet. Because all other planets in the solar system, in the galaxy, and other galaxies, all life resides inside the planet, not on the surface. The surface is prone to meteor strikes, asteroid strikes, and things of this nature, and so the surface was not conducive to having life on, to live on the surface. But the Earth was beautiful, and therefore they wanted to give man the opportunity to live on the surface, and that's why we're on the surface. But also understand, beneath your feet, there's 7 different civilizations just in the crust of the Earth. And when you go down into the crust of the Earth, you go down to about 400 miles. And when you get to 400 miles, it's 800 miles thick. When you get to 400 miles, that's the center of gravity. Not the center of the planet is not where the center of gravity is located. It's in the center of your crust, which is about 800 miles thick. So that is somewhat what I wanted to talk about as far as the seeding of this world, the bringing of the populations to this world, and then of course you start talking about your biblical history. That's pretty messed up as well. But and of course I could tell you about that, but I think my father would do a better job. So I think I'm just going to shut up and let my father come through and continue the conversation that I started. So anyway, I'm going to become silent here for a couple moments, and Jane, beloved Jane, you can take over. Till the end, whatever, and then I'm going to
thank you. Sure.
Do my thing.
All right, have fun. Urea likes this opportunity when she's able to leave her body, but her spirit, her soul, goes to where Zora is, and then Zora's soul, that full entity of who she is, in essence, is then here with us. So, I think I knew you were there. Hi, Zora, and welcome to our Zora show. And how are you doing?
And I'd be wonderful. And how be you?
Well, I think I could say that we are all wonderful, and very happy that you are here with us. Talking about wonderful, Zora, before you go on forward with some of the questions, you always tell us that you are wonderful. So right now, maybe you could tell us where Zoreya is and what wonderful existence is, where is she and what is she doing? Sometimes we never even get a chance to find that out. So where did Zoreya go? Where did Zoreya go to today? And
well, Zoreya is in my ship, and of course my ship is also located in the vicinity of New Mexico. So over New Mexico, I should say, and it has to do with what is going on in New Mexico. In New Mexico, however you pronounce that location, the location of that solar observatory that was shut down. The reason it was shut down is quite simple. They were taking pictures of the sun, and of course they were also taking pictures of, they were getting images that were appearing between the Earth and the sun, and of course they were picking up very vividly elusive aeroships, and they were taking photos of them. And when the so-called, what was termed, government of your nation, there was a representative there from them, and noticed what was taking place and notified his superiors, and his superiors came down and shut them down. Why? Because they were getting images, very clear images of elusive aeroships in orbit around the Earth. So, and they were getting very good pictures of them. And of course, they were getting flashes back from them, and they were getting codes and things of this nature being received from them. And it was quite interesting. And they thought it was very interesting too. But then, of course, your government decided to shut them down, so they could not transmit the images onto the internet. So that is why they were shut down. And it is a temporary thing, but as it is so termed, they were being reprimanded by your so-called government to not divulge what they had been taking pictures of, except the sun, of course. And also the pictures that you saw on your computers, pictures of the sun with arrow ships around it. All of those little elongated specks that are on the film are ships, and there was many of them around the Helios, and of course Helios is your sun, the sun that lights the day. And understand that the sun, as I have said before, many of you have not heard it, but the sun is not hot. The sun is light, plain and simple. It is light, and also the planet itself, which is beneath the flaming, what is called hologram, that is engulfed the entire planet. It makes it appear as if it is a fiery ball, and it is not. There is a planet beneath it, beneath that fiery appearance. There is a thriving planet, a civilized population upon the surface of the sun, or actually in the center of the sun, because it is a planet. And but in the planet of the sun, Helios, there is a population living there, and they are called the Shining Ones, and they are of the 12th dimension. Not that means anything, but that's what that is the dimension they're in. And the reason they have what is called the appearance of a fiery surface or fiery existence is because it deters people from going there, except for those that know that the planet is there. Your probes and things of this nature that have visited the sun and send back what is called data pertaining to the so-called fiery surface, have sent back what is called readings that are off the charts, as they are so termed, as far as a heat. And of course, that is purposely transmitted to the probes to keep what is called lower dimensional beings to visit the planet. And that is why they have the appearance of a fiery ball and solar flares and things of this nature. Now understand, solar flares are not harmful as far as the illusion of the fiery surface of the sun. Now, the sun is in actuality, the light from it is cold fusion.